Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Jerry there?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
Hey guys, it's DJ Wonder Chrissy coming at you again, and we're going to talk about Busch Bud a little more, but this time in detail. August 3rd, before market opens, they're scheduled to come out with their quarterly reports. Their last report was like May 5th, which I think might have been right after the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco chaos started. But anyway, we'll be looking for those results, and I got a feeling it's not going to be good. Their stock is kind of bounced back a little bit. It's at like 58 and some change. At one time it was 66.50 this year, and then it just kind of plummeted, and it's been going up and down for the last couple of months. Its market cap is probably down about 13 billion. It was 130. They're down to like 113 or something like that, or 117. So they're down 13 billion. At one time, I think the stock price was actually down like 19 billion. So they're making some comebacks. So I wanted to also talk about what I'm seeing. I just did a video, and I had some video of my local Walmart as of Friday at like 4 o'clock. So it was hot off the press or hot off my camera. And I've noticed that, you know, they're not getting any end cap play in my Walmart, at least, and a lot of other ones I've heard. Maybe for their Busch products, but not the Bud and Bud Light. And the physical shelf space where Bud and Bud Light seems to have condensed a little bit. Especially if I was probably like a month ago, I was in a truck stop, and they had a walk-in, what they call beer cave, or beer. It was a huge beer cooler. You could just walk right in it. A lot of those places I'm seeing, the Bud products are getting 1 or 2 case wide space, and that's it. And maybe, like, you know, for the whole rack, or maybe a portion of the rack, where some of their better selling stuff gets like the whole shelf. So they're definitely seeing a reduction in shelf space for Bud and Bud Light as a result of their decline of sales. Last I've been hearing is year over year, and pretty much week on week, it's like 30% year over year, but each week, it's the last month or 6 weeks, it's been going from like 22%, and working its way up. It's still, the sales are still going down, and they're going to hit that 30% on a weekly basis pretty soon. So sales just keep declining. I also talked to one salesman who was in Walmart probably towards the beginning of this whole fiasco, and he said that they actually had bar owners that were requesting that Bud come in and take down their signs early on. So I haven't talked to any of the salesmen since then, but at that point, when it was early in the whole chain of events here, he was saying that some of the bar owners were getting pretty upset. And as I've said in many videos around here too, when the susie-q and myself, we go to bars around here, pubs that we frequent on a regular basis, it's definitely been removed from the draft list. They're no longer on draft. We talked to one owner who said he pretty much was forced. He tried to keep it on, but he has to get rid of the beer within 10 days, I believe. And he basically had to throw out 2 kegs, pretty much full kegs, because no one was buying it. So he removed it from his draft list, and now he's only selling bottles. And I didn't ask him how many, what type of volume he was selling, but that was one guy. And then there was another place that does a lot of volume. This is another place we frequented. Actually, it's the Broken Oar, right? The Broken Oar. They probably have 10 beers on draft, and I'm sure Bud and Bud Light were on it, and they were replaced by Hamm's. Consider that. They brought Hamm's beer back from the 70s, and it's now replacing Bud and Bud Light. And I enjoy it. It's like $3 a glass, $4 a glass. Every time we go there now for the car shows, I'll have a glass or two. So there you go. That's what I know about Bud and Bud Light. And like I said, we're going to know more August 3rd. The morning of August 3rd, they're supposed to come out with their quarterly results, their earnings, and you're going to see that stock's going to go either up or down massively on that day. I think that's almost a guarantee. It's kind of hard to cover up what's happening, as I said in one of my last videos, that when you lose 30% of your earnings or your wages and your paycheck, you know about it. So when Budweiser's not selling 30% of their product, they know about it, and boy, do they ever. It's a shame this is happening, but I think it needs to happen to show these companies that people are not going to put up with this nonsense. So as it goes, it's capitalism, folks. Vote with your dollars, vote with your credit card, vote whatever it is you use to buy stuff. So there you go. I'm going to throw in some footage here. We were just up in Milwaukee. We stopped at one of the Milwaukee County Park beer gardens. If you didn't know that, that's like a weird concept, right? The Park District of Milwaukee has, I think, 5 beer gardens, and has had it for a long time. They also have mobile beer gardens that go to other parks that do not have a standard beer garden for all year. But we went to the one in, I think it's called South Harbor neighborhood. Very nice neighborhood of Milwaukee, south of downtown, as the name describes. Beautiful old houses from like the 50s and 60s that are very well kept up. Very nice neighborhood. Some local restaurants and pubs as you walk through the neighborhood area if you want to. And a beautiful old beach house from probably like the 1930s, right on Lake Michigan, with a beach and a park and a playground for the kids, and a beautiful beer garden, a huge beer garden. They probably have about 12, 15 beers on draft, and then a bunch of stuff that you can buy in cans. And I didn't really even check if they had Bud or Bud Light. I know they didn't, but this one we went to is actually sponsored by Miller, so I wouldn't expect to see any Bud products there. So it is more tilted to Miller, but they had quite a few beers and an awesome selection. So if you're heading to Milwaukee, check out the local parks or the county parks that have beer gardens. They're open Thursday through Sunday, either opening at 4 o'clock or 11 o'clock, and they also serve sandwiches and appetizers and things like that. So look for more on that video to come out, but I'll throw in some snippets right now so you guys can take a look at that. And that's all I have for you today. Just want to let you know that Bud is not wiser, and DJ Wonder Chris is pretty smart. So over and out, guys. See you soon.
What's that?
That's a swear jar. Every time someone swears, you put a quarter in it.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. We'll use it to buy something for the office, like a case of Bud Light or something.
Fucking awesome.
You, Bob. You, Jim.
Eric, I have a bag on line 3 for you.
Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your f***ing pen?
Will the owner of a white station wagon please go f yourself?